Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's weekly cybersecurity recap. It's number 56 for Friday, January 29th, 2021. Stephanie, what's happening over there at Prescient.com?
Lots going on here. So I'll just jump into what's been going on this week. So Bob Carver shared an article on ZDNet about GDPR fines increasing by 40% last year, and they're expected to go up a lot higher this year as well. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with this, but it is worth noting that with every single breach that we're seeing in the headlines, that there are likely going to be compliance issues, not only limited to GDPR, but with multiple infractions through multiple jurisdictions. So make sure you have a resource. I'm always happy to be that resource, but make sure that your data is compliant with all of these new regulations. I know it's a big lift. It's a heavy task to carry, but in addition to just not wanting to go through a compromise, you want to make sure that if something does happen, that at least you did your part to protect everything and make sure that it was disclosed the way it needed to. So feel free to reach out if you have questions on that. Gideon Rasmussen shared a Business Insider article about Tesla, that Tesla suing a former employee, an ex-worker, who says it downloaded trade secrets. So within days of being hired, this engineer was one of a select few who had access to certain files and began to transfer a ton of them to his personal Dropbox account. He later claimed that it was only a couple of files and he didn't mean to, and he deleted it. Those were determined to be lies. Again, just a reminder to know what your data is, know who has access. Make sure that when you hire someone that you're looking deep into them, and that maybe gradually they gain access to things. And thankfully, I believe this all happened within between December 28th and January 6th. So really quick response on their part. So make sure that your data has similar protections to notify people when it's moving and who has access to it. Our own Rob Pennella at Prescient shared a Wall Street Journal article, the guide to the new COVID-19 testing rules for travel to the US. So the CDC is now requiring travelers to show proof of a negative pre-flight test in an attempt to kind of contain the cases of COVID-19. This attracts everyone that's traveling internationally into the US on those flights. It does include US citizens, as well as those flying on private jets and charter flights. So there's lots more to know in this article. Definitely worth checking it out, but important to stay updated as this rapidly changes with the vaccine rollout. So stay informed on all this. This could definitely impact your travel. I had the pleasure this week of sitting down and talking to Spencer Corson for his podcast about protective intelligence. It was a really great conversation, I think. It was long, so you'll have to listen to us talk for a while, but I think it was definitely worth some listening time for sure. Also, make sure you catch that and go to his website. He's got a new book that's coming out, which I think is really helpful as well. So be sure to check it out. Sean O'Kelly shared a Harvard Business Review article that cybersecurity is not just a tech problem. We say this all the time, so you're preaching to the choir here, but it did offer some good suggestions for people trying to maintain cybersecurity under remote work conditions. It said things like lead with empathy, understanding where people are coming from during the COVID crisis and being at home and all of the things associated, empower the employees to make good, effective decisions, basically making it easy for them to do their job, making things run smoothly. Define what matters the most. Obviously, protect your data. Make sure that if someone doesn't need it, that they don't have access to it. Really important with remote work. And then honor the distractions. We all have a lot of distractions working from home now. So really important that we understand from a cybersecurity standpoint what that can potentially equate to, and try to set up protections and a little bit of wiggle room for people when they're trying to do their best. So make sure to catch that. Wired.com had an article about online harassment toward women becoming even more insidious. With a new vice president that happens to be a biracial female, it's becoming an even bigger challenge for moderators on social media to control the hate speech, the harassment, the deep fake, and revenge porn. Some proposed legislation is being put out there for us all to kind of look at to combat the abuse, but the moderation is in desperate need of evolution to be able to catch up with the vast amount of violators that are slipping through the cracks on this. Really important for people to report things that they don't think are appropriate, not things that just necessarily don't fit your political opinions, but things that are truly not helpful or positive. So, anyway, it'll be interesting to see how the technologies and everything develop as time goes on, because this is such an important thing that needs to be addressed and quickly. And that's what I have for you this week. I hope everyone is doing well and getting ready for February, which I think happened in a blink, didn't it, Chuck? We were just starting January, and now we're almost to February.
I'm already playing catch up. I agree with you 100%.
So be well, and we will look forward to seeing you all next week.